Human life depends on the distribution of oxygen, nutrients to the cells and all parts of the body, and the removing of carbon dioxide and other wastes. These tasks are partially carried out by the circulatory system, which consists of the heart, the intricate network of blood vessels, and blood. The blood moving through the vessels serves as a transport medium for oxygen, nutrients, and other substances. The human circulatory system functions like a network of highways. It connects the various muscles and organs of the body with one another. 4 kinds of traffic move along this highway: nutrients, cellular wastes. Oh fuck.
Oh
Okay. Cellular waste, oxygen, and carbon dioxide. Food molecules and the nutrients that fuel muscle contraction and the other cell activities. After nutrients pass the small intestine to the bloodstream, they are transported to the cell of the body by the circulatory system. Cells that use proteins dump the resulting nitrogen containing the cellular waste into the circulatory system. The circulatory system carries this waste to the kidneys where it is filtered from the blood. Additionally, cells must have a way of receiving oxygen and disposing of carbon dioxide. Both of these gases transport to the cells from the circulatory system.
The blood vessels of the body is divided into 3 types. The 3 types of blood vessels are arteries, veins, and capillaries. They each perform a different function and have a different structure. Arteries are tubes that carry blood away from the heart. Blood leaves the heart not in a smooth flow, but rather in pulses as the heart forcefully ejects it with contractions. To accommodate each forceful pulse of blood, an artery's wall must be able to expand. In capillaries, food and oxygen molecules are transferred from the blood to the body's cells, and carbon dioxide and wastes are picked up. Capillaries are simple tubes with walls that are only 1 cell thick. The walls of capillaries are so thin that the food and gas molecules easily pass through them. Veins are vessels that return the blood to the heart. Veins do not have to accommodate the pulsing pressures that arteries do. By the time the blood reaches the veins, its pressure is very low. The lower pressure inside veins allows for their walls to have a much thinner layer of smooth muscles and elastic fiber, and the lower pressure inside the veins allows for their walls to have a much thinner layer of smooth muscle and elastic fiber than the walls of arteries. Also, most veins have internal one-way valves spaced at regular intervals. These valves prevent the blood from flowing backward during its trip to the heart.
Plasma is a sticky, straw-colored fluid that is about 90% water. Cells receive nourishments from dissolved substances carried in the plasma. Red blood cells illustrated in the diagram are vital to the survival of cells in all parts of the body because they transport oxygen. Red blood cells carry an iron-containing protein called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a molecule that actually transports oxygen and carbon dioxide. White blood cells are cells that help defend the body against disease. Notice in diagram that a white blood cell may be irregularly oh my gosh. Okay. Irregularly shaped and may have a rough outer surface. When a person has an infection, the number of white blood cells can increase dramatically. The final component of the blood platelets are essential in the formation of a blood clot. A blood clot is a mass of interwoven fibers and blood cells that prevent excess loss of blood from a cut. When a blood vessel tears or rips, platelets congregate at the damaged areas, stick together, and form a small plug. The vessels constricts, slowing blood flow to the area. Then special clotting factors are released from the platelets. These factors from long sticky threads which forms a net that traps erythrocytes. This structure of this net hardens into a clot of scab.
The heart is a muscle organ that pumps blood through the body, that submits, divides the heart lengthwise into two sides. The right side pumps blood to the lungs, and the left side pumps blood to the other part of the body. Each side of the heart is divided into upper and lower chambers. Each upper chamber is called an atrium, and each lower chamber is called a ventricle. In each side of the heart, blood flows from the atrium to the vascular, and then out into the arteries. One-way vessels treat these chambers are prevent blood from moving into the wrong direction. The arterial vessel tramps the artery from the radicals. The similarity vessels separate ventricle from the arteries located the artericles and similarity vessels in the direction. In the heart, as shown in the drama, blood returning to the heart, which has a high concentration of bonding particles of carbon dioxide and a lower concentration of oxygen, enters the right artery. The pumps into the value into the heart ventricles. The muscle of the right ventricle contracts and forces the blood through the right similarity vessel and into leading to the lung. Into the lung, carbon dioxide leaves the circular blood and oxygen enters it. The oxygenated blood returns into the left atrium of the heart. The oxygen blood is then pumped through the other vesicle into the left vesicle. Strong contrast of the muscle of the left arteries force the blood through similarity values into a large blood vessel and then dot the body.
Control of heartbeat. The heart consists mostly of cardiac muscles, which functions differently from normal muscle. In normal muscle, called skeletal muscle, each cell contracts together when a nerve impulse is received. In cardiac muscle, the cell contracts in waves. When the first cell is stimulated, it excites neighboring cells. Those cells in turn stimulate surrounding cells. The chain reaction proceeds until all the cells contract. As the activity spreads, the atria and ventricles contract in rhythm. The initial stimulus of this wave-like contraction begins in the sinoatrial node, SA node, a specialized region located in the right atrium. The SA node is called the heart's pacemaker. It regulates the contractions of the hearts by generating an electrical impulse that causes the atrium of the hearts to contract. When the electrical impulse reaches the AV node, another wave of contraction causes the ventricle to contract, completing a full heartbeat. Patterns of circulation. Blood leaves the heart through vessels known as arteries. From the arteries, the blood passes into a large network of arterioles, or small arteries. Eventually, the blood is pushed through the capillaries. It is while the blood is passing through the capillaries that gases and nutrients are exchanged with the cells of the body. After leaving the capillaries, the blood flows into venules. or small veins. The network of venules empties into the larger veins, which carry the blood back to the heart. To communicate effectively, scientists often say this system is divided into various subsystems. The two primary subsystems of circulation are pulmonary circulation, in which the blood travels between the heart and lungs, and systematic circulation, in which the blood travels between the heart and all other body tissues. Pulmonary circulation is the movement of blood from the heart to the lungs and back to the heart. Systematic circulation is the movement of blood to all parts of the body, except to the lungs, then back to the heart.